Guess who's back? Back again. I always do this and it doesn't work. Guess who's back? With a full face tutorial of Dior. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another installment of Full Face Friday. Today's featured brand is Dior. I know that my first Full Face Friday video was supposed to be Dior. I didn't have certain things come in the mail yet at that point. I am missing a few products from Dior, which again, this series is kind of my baby, but I'm here doing my best to fulfill this series as to what I intend it to be. I'm super excited. I've never actually tried a full face of Dior makeup, which is the reason why I did this series, but this actually came out so nice. I actually for a hot minute considered going out in this makeup, which is when you know you're looking good. But before we get into the video, guys, just make sure that you hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're feeling the vibe. Again, comment any suggestions you have for Full Face Friday, and if you know me and you've been here for a little while, give me a thumbs up because you know that I do not do dark eyeshadow looks on this channel. We're changing things around in 2018/2019, so get ready for it, guys. And without further ado, guys, let's jump into this video. So I'm going to start off with the Warm Neutrals palette from Dior. Then I'm just going to go with this concealer slash primer and prep my eyes with that. Fingers crossed that it actually works, otherwise the rest of the makeup look will be questionable. The one thing I will say is this is actually very thin in consistency, but other than it being super thin, it's giving me a bit of coverage on the eyes, not a ton. I'm just gonna go back in with my finger and apply a little bit more on my eyelid. Then I'm gonna go with setting powder, otherwise the shadows may come up looking funky. Oh. I don't know if you guys saw that, but when I was packing the translucent powder over top of the primer, it looked like it just sat on top, and then I kind of had to take my finger and go like this to set it, but it still feels a little tacky. Lord help us today, because we're gonna need it. First, I'm gonna go in with this shade over here. It's a flesh tone shade. It won't be doing much. It's just kind of be something for the other shadows to lay on top of. And I'm just bringing that all the way through my crease. It actually is giving me a bit of color, so it's a lot more pigmented than I thought it would be. Then I'm gonna go in with this shade over here, the terracotta shade, on the same brush. And I'm taking that from outer corner basically to inner corner all through my crease and bringing that up pretty high, as well as kind of winging it out on the outer corner. And just make sure to bring that color pretty far up and again kind of wing it out. Now here's where things get challenging. I don't really know what I feel like doing on the eye. I'm thinking of doing a brown smoky eye, so bear with me here. I think that's what we're gonna be doing. So I'm gonna be going in with this taupe cool tone brown on a M543 brush. So I'm just gonna go in with that taupe color and bring that through my entire crease. And I'm gonna, again, kind of bring that on the outer V. And I'm just going back in with that Sephora Pro Tapered Crease Brush and blending those two colors out. Alright guys, so this is where things start to get a little bit dicey if it doesn't look like it already. I'm going in with my Anastasia packing brush, and I'm going to pick up this dark shade all the way at the top over here, or the bottom, and I'm going to pack that on my entire eyelid. Alright, now once I start to get towards the crease area, I'm going to go back in with the Morphe M573 brush and just start to blend out that darker shade with whatever shadow is left from that lighter taupe color that we used earlier. And you see how you can tell the difference between this eye and this eye? This eye is the one that has been blended out, and this is the one that I just stamped the shadow on. When you're doing a smoky eye, you want to make sure that you're blending each color seamlessly into the neck so it looks like a color gradient, whereas this eye just looks like I punched myself in the face. Go back to blend that out. Then with this Coastal Scents Domed Crease Brush, I'm going to go in with the lightest shade in the palette to highlight my brow bone, which to be honest isn't really doing much. That is a very, very subtle color. Alright, so out of the whole palette so far, all of the shadows blended really nicely, really easily, especially the matte shades. I don't like that one shimmer shade that I just used because it's barely there. So after that, I'm just going to clean up all the fallout underneath my eyes, which surprisingly isn't a lot for the kind of look that we did today. That's pretty good. Alright, so now I'm actually going to try one of Dior's most known products, their 3D Maximizer Lash Primer. I have literally never use that, as you can tell from that popping sound. I'm gonna cover my lashes with this. So it's not making my lashes white or anything. It kind of is just grabbing them and separating them, which looks really nice actually. Then I'm going to go in with the Dior Plump and Volume Mascara. Let's see what this baby can do. Off the bat, it's giving my lashes a lot of length, but it's kind of clumping them together a bit. I don't know how I feel about that. It also could be the primer that helped, but I don't know if you guys can see this. It's kind of clumping my lashes together in the center of my eye. Okay, wow, it went on a lot easier on this eye over here. I really like that. I don't know if it's just the mascara by itself or it's a combo of the two. But that mascara is really pretty. Alrighty, so overall, I really like the pairing of these two together. I honestly don't know if it was just the mascara or if it was the mascara and the lash primer combined, but my eyelashes look amazing. I will say though, it did take a little bit more finessing with this wand just because I found that it was a little bit more wet of a mascara formula that I'm used to, but once you get over that, you have to work it in a little bit more. It looks beautiful. So next we move on to the face. I'm going to be using the Diorskin Forever Ever base primer with SPF of 20. I'm on the Sephora website and basically it just says that it's supposed to enhance your makeup and complexion products. That's it. Please don't break me out. So I'm just going to take that between my fingers and kind of smooth it onto the skin. With this smoky eye going on, I just look crazy. Next, I'm actually going to be using the Airflash foundation. Now I have two shades. One is way too dark, that's 500, and one's way too light, which is 200. So we're gonna mix the two of them and hopefully pray to the foundation gods that we find a shade for us. Because I am not so sure that we'll be able to use this foundation. Worst case scenario, I could always switch to the Dior Backstage foundation because that one I know is my shade. I wanted to try something new because I've never used this foundation before and everybody online raves about it, so I felt like that would be fun. I also just realized I never zoomed you guys out for the face products, so here we are. The test, guys. Get ready to laugh. Let's try and mix those two. That could be a lot worse, guys. Damn, am I good. I basically did one spray of 500 and then multiple sprays of 200. And just as a personal disclaimer, I really do not like spray foundations. I find that they're way too much work because you gotta spray it on the back of your hand, and then if you spray it on your face, you get it on your eyebrows, and it's a whole situation, and it's way too much work. I'm also applying this foundation with a brush just because I find that with spray foundations, it's much easier to glide on with a brush than it is with a sponge because the sponge absorbs a ton of the product. The brush is not, which I feel like if I had my actual color in this foundation, it would look beautiful, but we are clearly working with what we have, guys. And I'm also buffing that down. Okay, so clearly there's a few things I did off camera. So the Dior concealer that I have is a little bit too dark for this makeup look, so I couldn't use it, so I used the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Then I just went in with my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, which I normally do for these tutorials. After that, I contoured with my Kat Von D Shade and Light. I filled in my brows with my brow pencil from Anastasia, and then I just quickly threw on some lashes from Sephora collection. These are in the style Swanky. And now we are back to the face. So then I'm going to go in with this shade Dior blush. Now this is more of like a peach pink terracotta color. As I said, I get a lot of stuff for free from work, so I don't know the exact name of this shade because it doesn't say it on the back. If anything, what I can do is look up a close shade to one of the Dior blushes that they have now and post that as the shade that I'm using because it's probably one of those. So I'm just going to be taking that and my Coastal Scents Angled Blush Brush and applying that to the apples of my cheeks. I told you so, but this blush goes perfectly with this eye look. Then I'm just going to be taking a tiny bit of that blush and kind of throwing it on my forehead and a little bit down the bridge of my nose just to add kind of a sunburned, sun-kissed look to my skin because I do not have a bronzer from Dior. So that'll be our makeshift bronzer. That was really bad. My jaw cracks every time I do that. Now, I have heard very good things about the Dior highlighters. This is the Dior Nude Luminizer, and I believe it's the pink shade, number 1. And I'm just going to be taking my Morphe M510 brush, swirling that around, making sure to get a ton of product on there because I want a blinding highlight. And let's see. Huh, okay, so I knew it was a pink highlighter, but that's very pink. Not my first choice for this very warm tone eye look. It's a very pretty highlighter. It doesn't add a ton of texture on the skin. It kind of sits softly. And then I'm just going to be applying a little bit to the bridge of my nose. I'm actually going to take a little bit on my finger and take a little bit more. Make that highlighter mustache. Throw a little bit up on my forehead. So back to the eyes, I'm going to be going in with that terracotta shade on the bottom row as we used before. And I'm going to run that underneath the eye all the way to inner corner and connect it to that shape that we made earlier just to kind of soften it. We're not looking for a dramatic line. This is a smoky eye. And like I said, I'm bringing it pretty far down because we're going to go in with a darker shade and line the lash line with that pretty much. I'm going to go in my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea brush and just go into that deep shade that we used on the entire lid. And run that right underneath the lower lash line. So because this is a really dark and smoky look, I'm going to be taking the Morphe M213 brush and using that highlighting brow bone shade, which didn't really do much. Adding a touch of that to the inner corner. Like I said, it's very, very subtle. Almost not even there. I'm just adding that just for a touch of light. Then I'm gonna go back in with my Dior Plump and Volume mascara and coat the and coat the lower lash line. Oh my god. Do you guys see what I mean about kind of clumpy? Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, no, this is the mascara you definitely do not want to use on the lower lash line. Alright guys, so last for lip we have a few options here. I think that leaves us with the Dior Lip Glow in shade 7 Raspberry. Now this is just a berry color. It's hydrating. It's almost like a chapstick with color to it. Personally, these are my favorite kind of lip products. So this is the full face look, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I had a ton of fun testing out new products. Now let's quickly go through the bad products, the amazing products, the so-so products. There were actually no products in this video that I hated, so we're just gonna jump into the products that were so-so. Now, for products that weren't amazing, we have these three over here. I have the Dior eyeshadow palette that I used on my eyes today. The primer was kind of weird when I first used it. Honestly, we've seen so many eyeshadow palettes with this color scheme. It's not really that it wasn't good. They blended out really nicely. It's just that it's not something that I would reach for a lot. And then we have the Dior highlighter. Now, this for me was just the color, and I love personally a blinding highlight, whereas this was kind of, you had to build it up to the intensity you wanted it to be. The only reason why this is in so-so products is because on top of this primer, I would also have to use a smoothing primer for my pores. I just feel like this really made a difference in prepping my skin for the foundation and the face products. But this is my favorite primer I have tried so far from all three brands from Full Face Friday. Normally, like I said in my other past videos, I get this skip in my contour, and this is the first time, which I think it's a mixture of this and the foundation, the first time that it has not done that. A round of applause, thank you. So as I was saying, I have a ton of favorites from this video. To start off, the blush is beautiful, goes on really nice. I feel like it smoothed out my skin, kind of like the ColourPop one. It just looks so beautiful, and it's a perfect color for the winter and the fall. I'm definitely gonna be reaching for this again. Then we had the Plump and, what is it? The Plump and Volume mascara and the Dior primer. Obviously, I didn't use the two of these by themselves to see how they performed individually, but together they worked so well on my lashes that I really didn't need to put on false lashes, but you know, false lashes complete a look. Clearly it does an amazing job on the upper lash line, but on the bottom lashes, it's just, it falls very flat and gets clumpy and hits your lower lash line. Not for the lower lash line, but together for the top, amazing. Then we have the lip product. Like I said, I've used this before. It's probably like the only product from this whole video that I've used before. I love tinted chapsticks. These types of products are my go-to everyday lip products because I don't like wearing lipstick or liquid lipstick. I just don't like the way it feels on my lips, and I have a weird mouth shape where it always gets on my teeth no matter what I do. Very big fan of it. And last but not least, the foundation. Now, My skin looks phenomenal in the viewfinder. It looks phenomenal in person. It looks amazing via FaceTime, which my friend just called me in the middle of this. I actually may invest in my correct color because this is too pink for me and this is too dark for me. This foundation makes my skin look so beautiful that I think it's worth investing in the actual shade for me. Alrighty guys, so thank you everyone for watching this video. I know it was a little bit different from the past 2 weeks because I don't have all the products. As we get further and further into the series, some of these brands may not have, again, all of the products that I need to complete a full face, but we're gonna do our best here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, please don't forget to subscribe. You know you wanna come back and be a part of this fam. And by this fam, I mean my ring light, my 2 box lights, and my camera, because there's no one else here. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Adios!